Welcome back to my channel. So of course, if you click this video, you know what it's about. It is going to be a review and demo of the Too Faced Sweet Peach palette. If you are a makeup junkie like myself, you know that this is their new limited edition eyeshadow palette, and I'm so excited to have it. Honestly, this has been like so hard to get. Well, not personally for myself, but I know for others it has been really challenging. It's sold out multiple times on different websites. I know for myself it was almost like a fluke of me getting it because I had been stalking the Sephora website all day. It didn't launch. It was on the site but hadn't actually been released yet, and I kind of like gave up and fell asleep and everything, and randomly I woke up at like 3 a.m. after doing studies and such, and I was like, you know what, let me just check and see if there's any updates, and lo and behold, there it was. I added that thing into my basket so quickly and checked out. It was like crazy. I didn't even use my eBates. I just want to go ahead and share my thoughts and my review of this palette. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump right into the video. So this palette actually retails for $59 Canadian, I believe, and you can pick it up on the Sephora website. For Canadians, I think you might have been able to get it on the Too Faced website as well, but it probably is going to cost like an arm and a leg to ship over. So I would say try to see if you can wait to see if it's going to be restocked on Sephora. I think Too Faced said that they weren't going to be restocking the palette anyhow, so I would definitely follow Trend Mood on Instagram because they always have like the latest updates, and probably follow the owner, which I believe his name is like Jared Blandino or something like that. So of course it's not shorter than anything else that Too Faced does. It has a beautiful box. You know, it just says Too Faced Sweet Peach and smells like peach, and yes, it does actually smell like peach. The box is not even open right now and I can smell it. So here's the packaging. It has like a beautiful ombre type effect. It ombres from like a light peach into a pink to a darker orange. It says sweet peach here, and it has the little embossed peach designs on the front here. And you open it up and you have 18 beautiful shades. And these shades are pretty much mixed. They do have matte satins and shimmer shades, and I do like the choice of the shades that they have in here. The mirror has, I don't want to blind you, but it has like a little design here saying sweet peach and a little picture of a peach. So in terms of what's inside the box, Too Faced usually tends to give you a little look card that explains all the different shadows included in the palette, as well as some perspective looks, eye looks that you can create. However, I don't know where mine is. Like, I think I got one, but honestly, I was so excited about the palette when it came that I probably just chucked that into the garbage somewhere. But what's really nice is that normally their palettes don't come with 18 shades. They come with a little less. I want to say like 15 or 14 shades. So what they did was they pretty much just took out that larger shade and then gave us substitute shades for that, which I actually don't mind, because how many times do you actually like go through that big, longer eyeshadow? So I did want to point out that with getting the extra shadows in this palette, you actually do end up getting more product overall. For example, this palette you get, well, each shadow is 0.95 grams. And then when you add all of those 18 shadows up times 0.95 grams, you're getting a total net weight of 17.1 grams, which is pretty amazing if you ask me. This is the original chocolate bar box that I have for my palette, but yeah, you get 0.95 grams as well for each shadow, but then overall the net weight for the total shadows that you get is 13.3 grams, which is, it's pretty good, right? Especially if you're getting extra colors. Now for the peach smell, it can be a little bit overpowering, I think. I'm not personally sensitive to smell, however I know some people are. Maybe if you are really sensitive, I would kind of like be a little wary of this, because I find that it's more like an artificial peach smell. It's not like a natural peach. It doesn't smell bad, but it is very overpowering. So here I just wanted to show you guys how the three palettes compare to each other. So first we have the original chocolate bar, and then we have the semi-sweet, and then the sweet peach palette. So basically you can see in full view now what I was speaking about in the video about how they eliminated the larger shadow on the top, and you can see in the sweet peach palette we now have 18 shadows that are consistently the same size. In terms of color, you can see that the sweet peach is pretty similar to the semi-sweet in that it has similar tones and it has very warm tones. The only difference between the sweet peach and the original semi-sweet is just, of course, their colors, because of course they have different themes. The sweet peach has the peach tones because it is a peach theme, while the semi-sweet has your pops of blue. Now in comparison to the original chocolate bar, they both pull very, very warm, and the original chocolate bar has a very, very cool tone, but you can see how everything looks together, and that way you can decide if you really do need this palette. So now we're going to go ahead and jump into swatches of each individual shade in the palette, and as I go along I'm going to give you a little color description as well as tell you how the color performs, just so you can get a great idea of how the palette works overall. So the first shade we have is White Peach, which takes quite a bit to pick up, but it is a satin finish, and you can see I have to go over it multiple times. Then we have Luscious, which is a light champagne with a shimmer finish. The third shade we have is Just Peachy, which is a pink with a gold undertone. So the next shade we have is called Bless Her Heart, which I describe as a sage green, and it is a green with a gold undertone, and it has a shimmer finish. We're following up that shade with a matte black called Tempting, and this is a matte black with gold micro glitter, and as you can see this one took quite a bit to build up, and you can see it was very patchy. Next shade we had is called Charmed I'm Sure, which is a cool toned brown with a matte finish, and you can see this one goes on like butter. This shade right here is called Nectar, and it's a light peach / champagne shade with a shimmer finish, and this is another one of the better shadows from the palette. This shade right here is called Cobbler, which is a light brown with a shimmer finish. So finally we're coming into some of the more peachy shades. This one is called Candied Peach, which is a mid-tone matte peach shade with pink micro glitter, and you can see it does take a little bit to build up, but eventually it does stand out, and the glitter of course does not overtake the eyeshadow. The next shade we have is called Bellini, which is also a pink with a gold undertone. It's very similar to the original shade Just Peachy that we swatched earlier, but it just has a little bit more of a dark tone to it, and it has a little bit more pink to it as well. Following up with this shade called Peach Pit, which is a very interesting color. This is one of my favorites from the palette, and it's a satin shade, but it is a cross between a brown with like purple undertones. So this next shade is called Delectable, which is a mid-tone purple with a matte finish, and this is the last shade from the second row. So here's a look at the first two rows all together, and we're going to move on and swatch the last one. This first shade is called Peaches and Cream, which is a light peach with a matte finish. Then we're moving on to the shade Georgia, which is a light peach / cream with a matte finish, and this one has a little bit more of a warmer tone than the previous shade, and it leans a little bit more pink. The next shade we have is Caramelized, which is a mid-tone brown, and this one here has a satin finish. The shade we have is called Puree, and this is a medium brown with a matte finish, and it would be really great for applying to the crease to blend out all the other shadows. The next shade we have here is called Summer Yum, which is a medium brown with like a red undertone, and this one is strikingly similar to Makeup Geek's Cocoa Bear. The last shade that we have in this palette is called Talk Derby to Me. So this is a dark purple with a pink micro glitter finish, and this one is very interesting, and I think it could be used for a lot of different purposes, especially if you want to spray it with some Fix Plus and maybe allow those glitters to kind of shine through. Thoughts on this palette is I would definitely say you guys should go out and get it. If you can't get your hands on it, definitely try it out. I mean, it is a unique palette, being that it does smell like peach. I don't think anybody else really has anything on the market like this where, you know, their palettes or products are scented. That's not the only reason, of course, that I have to say that you should pick this up, but I really believe that the colors that they put in this palette, although a lot of people are saying that it doesn't have a lot of peach in it, I think the colors that they did include are versatile, and you can create endless looks out of this. I mean, you can get smoky looks because you have your darker shades and your nice warm tone shades, and then you have like your more neutral shades on this end and your pops of color up in the top middle part right here. So this palette is definitely very versatile. I would also say that because of the 18 shadows that they now have in this palette, I think that's a bonus. So the colors that they put in this palette are centered around a peach theme, so it's pretty much going to be really nice for the spring and summer, which we're coming into right now. I think they couldn't have dropped it at a better time, and I think it's definitely worth it, with the exception of about 2 shades, which is Tempting and White Peach. I think those 2 shades performed not as well as the other shades. Tempting did come off a little bit patchy, and the White Peach shade did take a couple passes, maybe a few passes actually, to build up the color, and even still it didn't appear to be very opaque. But you can definitely build them up and you would still be able to get some pigmentation and get the look that you're looking for. But overall, I can say this is a really nice palette. It's unique and it's great for the time that we're coming into. So that's pretty much all I have to say about the new Too Faced Sweet Peach palette. Definitely go ahead and thumbs up the video if you enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts if you guys picked up this palette and how you guys are liking it so far, because I'm definitely interested to hear what other people think about this palette. And until next time, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in my next one. Bye!